Hey everyone, welcome to week 10 of the Wild Woman Yoga series. I'm Lexi. We are halfway through. Can you believe it? Our theme for class today is Nourish. So we're going to be doing like a gentle flow, so you can wear anything that's comfortable. And if you have a yoga block, that would be wonderful. We're just going to use it for one of the poses. And if you don't, no worries. Just grab literally any kind of pillow or just a folded blanket will be perfect. So grab all that and I will meet you on your mat. So we're going to start class in a seated position, any easy seat that feels good to you today. And you can place the hands on the knees and then we'll just take a moment to connect to the breath. You can close the eyes or soften the gaze, maybe picking somewhere on the floor as your point of focus. And just begin to deepen the breath. Inhaling, belly expanding, and exhaling, belly releasing. Noticing the rise and fall of the navel. And really consciously drawing the breath deep into the belly. And taking a moment just to slow down. And bringing to mind our theme for class today, Nourish. And our breath is such a beautiful example of taking in nourishing air on an inhale, and on an exhale, maybe imagining that oxygen just penetrating your muscles, your body, inhaling and taking in, and exhaling, integrating. Nourishing ourselves can mean receiving from the earth, from ourselves, from others. Filling our cup. And this can be difficult for many reasons. You might notice some resistance even to the word receiving, especially if you have spent a lot of your life valuing independence. And that's okay. We can use this practice to experiment with receiving just air, receiving from the earth and the environment that you're in. And receiving this time that you've given to yourself. Take a deep inhale and exhale, drop the chin to the chest. You can gently roll the neck, rolling the head from side to side, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder, and then drawing the head across the chest, left ear to left shoulder, and just gently stretching out the neck. Maybe pausing on one side, breathing in to the stretch, and then the opposite side, and pausing. And just following whatever your body needs right now and in every pose that we're taking today. If it feels good for your neck, you can also roll the head back, making a full circle in one direction and then in the other, being careful with the back of the neck, your cervical spine. And then maybe coming back to center, chin to chest, and bringing the head up. From here, you can look to the right, bring the chin over the right shoulder, gently stretching in the left side of the neck. And inhale to center. And exhale, looking over the left shoulder. And back to center. From here, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up to the sky, palms touching. Exhale, cactus the arms or goalpost, whatever resonates with you, so that you're bent in the elbow, fingertips towards the sky. We'll do that a couple of times. Inhale, fingertips up, hands up, arms straight. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, straighten the arms. And exhale, cactus. Spreading your arms wide, opening up in the front body. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, cactus. Let's do 3 more at your own pace. You can follow your fingertips upwards with your gaze. Okay, one more together. Inhale, fingertips up. And exhale, cactus. And bringing the fingertips down to the earth on either side of your hips. Grounding in the right hand and bringing the left arm up and over, bicep near your ear. Just stretching into the left side body, drawing that left shoulder towards the back of the room. Just gentle here, no forcing, just allowing gravity to kind of bend you over here. Inhaling back to center and exhaling, switching sides, so grounding in the left hand and bringing the right arm up and over. Drawing the right shoulder back towards the back of the room. And inhaling back to center. Bringing your palms to the knees. I'm going to do some circles with the upper body, so you can start counterclockwise, bringing the torso over the legs and then leaning back, gripping onto the knees if that helps you to maintain balance, and just circling the upper body from the waist in one direction. And you can start with small circles and gradually make them a little bit bigger, kind of waking up the spine. And then switching directions, going clockwise. And again, maybe starting a little bit small with your circles and gradually making the movements a little bit more exaggerated. Continuing to use the breath. From here, you can find your center and bring the soles of the feet together. Come into a butterfly position. And if it serves you, maybe bringing the torso slightly over the feet, bending forward. Sending breath to the legs. What does that mean, sending breath? Well, if it helps you, you can imagine breathing in and then bringing your awareness to any tension in the body. Maybe that's in your inner thighs at this moment. And as you exhale, just maybe send the breath there, using your awareness. To notice the tension and then release it. We can't relax anything without first noticing the tension. That's the same physically, mentally. You have to know where you're gripping in order to release. And the breath can help. Coming back up to center and swinging the legs over to the right side. The soles of your feet facing the top of the mat. You can bend in the knees here if you're feeling a little bit tight. I am, so I'm going to do that, or you can have them out straight. And we'll just come into an easy forward fold here. So reaching the arms up on an inhale, and exhale, fold forward, grabbing onto the shins, the calves, the feet, and pressing your torso to the tops of the thighs. And let the neck go. Maybe shake out the head no and the head yes. Just releasing in the neck. And then rolling up. And crossing At the ankles, bringing the legs in tight, and then you can plant the hands in front of you, coming into a tabletop. From here, bringing the knees either together or as wide as the mat, we're going to come into child's pose. So maybe the big toes are together and the knees are wide, maybe the thighs come together to support the chest, and wherever you are, walking the hands out in front of you and lowering the forehead to the earth. In this position, you can imagine drawing energy up from the earth through your palms, up the arms, down the back. Radiant energy filling your whole body. And connecting you to the earth. Inhaling to receive and exhaling to integrate. From here, lift the forehead, bring the right arm up, fingertips to the sky, and exhale, drawing the right hand underneath the left arm, threading the needle, and coming to rest on the right shoulder here. You can bring your gaze to follow the right fingertips. If this is uncomfortable for you, you could also come into this pose from a tabletop position, using the same motion, just reaching up and then threading the right arm underneath the left. But if it's good for you, staying in this kind of modified version. Inhaling the right arm up to the sky and exhaling, bringing it down back into child's pose. On your next inhale, bringing the left arm, fingertips up to the sky, opening up to the left side, and exhale, thread it underneath your right arm, coming to rest on the left shoulder, left side of the head to the earth. And continuing to breathe deeply. Sending the breath to any tension in the body. And on an inhale, unwinding, briefly opening up into the left side once again, and then exhaling, coming back into child's pose. Inhale up to tabletop, finding your alignment, knees under the hips and wrists under the shoulders. And from here, we're going to come into downward dog. So you can tuck the toes, keeping a slight bend in the arms, if that serves you. grounding into the fingertips and the palms, and keeping that torso close to the thighs. And as you're ready, sending the hips up and back, straightening in the legs, although you can keep a bend in the knees to keep the torso close to the thighs. If you straighten in the legs and find that your torso lifts, then continue to bend in the knees. Don't worry about pressing the heels to the ground. You can keep the heels lifted. And if you like, you can find some movement here, bringing one heel to the ground and bending into the opposite leg, and then alternating. Bringing the left heel to the ground and bending in the right leg, bringing the right heel to the ground and bending in the left leg. All the while pushing the ground away from you, keeping active in the shoulders. And then as you're ready, stepping the right foot in between the hands. Going to come into a warrior one. So dropping the left heel so that your left foot is at about a 45-degree angle, pressing into the knife edge or pinky edge of the foot, the left foot. And then coming up, lifting the torso, straightening in the upper body, bending into the right leg, and either bringing the hands up overhead, or you can keep them at the heart center. When you lift the arms overhead, you actually increase your blood pressure, so it can add a little intensity to the pose. So if you're not feeling that, hands at heart center. And just take a couple of breaths here. Drawing the right hip back, softening the left hip forward. If your arms are overhead, maybe taking a moment to cactus in the arms, opening the front of the body, receiving. And then as you're ready, you could stay here if you like, but if you'd like to come into warrior three, you can shift your weight into the front leg and lift, bring in the hands at heart center, lift the back leg, kind of launch forward. So your left foot is extended out behind you, left foot is flexed as if you could stand on the wall behind you. Keeping the hips level, so dropping that left hip. And finding your stability, grounding into the right foot. Helps to find a point of focus on the floor. And whether you're in warrior one or three, bringing the hands to frame the right foot, but a little bit in front of you, into a half split position. Dropping the head. And then floating the left foot back, making contact with the earth. And just taking a moment. You can drop the left top of the foot, the left knee, and straighten the right leg, coming into a half split on the ground. and just finding some release in that standing leg. And bending into the right leg again, lifting the left foot, tucking the left toes, and lifting the left knee. Walking the hands to the inside of the right foot and coming all the way to the back of the mat. Maybe stretching a little bit here. And as you're ready, dropping the right heel, finding a 45-degree angle with that right foot. You might need to walk the foot a little bit closer. You can walk it out to the right side a little bit to make room for the hips. Finding a comfortable position where you can really press into the pinky edge of the right foot. And then as you're ready, lifting the torso, bending into the left leg, and either bringing the hands overhead or at heart center. If your hands are overhead, broaden the shoulders to drop them away from the ears. And tuck the navel to the spine. A few breaths here, drawing the left hip back, softening the right hip forward. If your arms are overhead, maybe take a moment just to cactus the arms. Maybe bend slightly in the back. And then bringing the hands back to heart center. If you'd like to come into warrior three, shifting your weight into the left foot and launching, bringing the right foot back behind you, flexing in the right foot as if you could stand on the wall behind you. Dropping that right hip, keeping the hips level. And then wherever you are, bringing the hands down to the earth, keeping that right foot lifted, coming into a half split. So if you have the flexibility, you can lift that right foot even higher, or you can kind of keep it in this L shape. Feel free to bend in that left leg to bring the hands closer to the earth if that serves you. And then bringing the right toes to the earth, hands to the inside of the, actually let's take a moment, hands to frame the left foot, drop the right knee, drop the top of the right foot, and straighten the left leg, coming into a half split on the ground. Flexing the left toes back towards the shin. And then as you're ready, tucking the right toes, bending in the left leg, and lifting the right knee. Bring your hands to the inside of the left foot and walk yourself all the way back to the top of the mat, bringing the left foot to meet the right. Inhale to a flat back and exhale to fold forward. From here, bringing the hands on either side of the feet, stepping back with the right foot and then the left in a plank position. And then dropping the knees, taps of the feet, lowering the torso and belly to the ground. From here, extending the arms a bit so you can bring your hands on either corner of the mat in front of you. And then coming up on the fingertip, or actually rather coming up on the palms, finding a slight bend in the back. Taking a few breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling, maybe looking over the right shoulder. Inhaling back to center and exhaling, looking over the left shoulder. Inhaling back to center and exhaling, releasing the torso to the ground. Bringing the right forearm in front of you and stacking the left forearm over the right, and you can bring your forehead down onto your forearms. Maybe you shake the hips from side to side. From here, lifting the forehead, you might need to move a little bit lower on the mat and extend your arms out in front of you. Palms to the earth, forehead to the earth. Arms are straight. And from here, lifting the left arm and the right leg off the ground and lifting the forehead off the ground. We'll pause here. And release. Same thing on the opposite side, lifting the left leg and the right arm and the forehead off the ground. And release. We're going to do the same thing, linking breath to movement. Inhaling as you lift and exhaling as you release. Starting with the right leg and the left arm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift the right leg, the left leg, right arm. And exhale, release. Inhale, lift the right leg, left arm. And exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm. And exhale, release. Inhale, left arm, right leg. And release. Invitation to lift both arms and both legs off the ground on an inhale. And exhale, release. You can lift the forehead, bring the arms. Once again, stacking the forearms in front of you and resting the forehead. Bending the right knee, bringing the inside of the right thigh to the ground, almost as if you're in like a sleeping position. And turning to gaze towards the right side, resting the left side of your head on your forearms. And switching sides, extending the right leg back behind you. Bending in the left leg, bringing the inside of the left thigh to the ground, and resting the right side of the head on your forearm, looking towards the left side. And then extending the left leg back behind you, planting the palms on the earth on either side of your rib cage and pressing back into child's pose. Maybe noticing how this child's pose feels different than the first, if it does. And walking the hands back towards the body, swinging your legs to the left side, now in front of you, and finding your way onto your back. If you have your block, pillow, blanket, whatever you're using, bring that along to the left side of the mat. And once you're on your back, bending at the knees, soles of the feet to the earth, and lifting the hips so that you can bring your block, blanket, pillow right underneath your tailbone. You might need to readjust, finding a comfortable position, and then lifting the legs in the air. Toes towards the sky, or maybe flexing in the feet. You can rest your palms on the earth as well. And we'll be here for a few breaths. Bringing bend to the knees and the soles of the feet to the earth, lifting the hips to remove whatever was supporting you, and hugging the knees into the chest. If you'd like, you can grab onto the outsides of the feet with your hands and come into a happy baby, drawing the knees towards the armpits, and maybe rocking from side to side, giving a little massage to the low back. And then finding whatever remaining position you'd like to take before Shavasana. Listen to your body, see if there's any other stretch that you need. Maybe you can stretch out long, stretching the arms overhead, or maybe you draw in tight. Whatever you need to complete your practice. And then finding your way to Shavasana, making room for the thighs, bringing the feet out to be about as wide as the mat, and bringing the arms a ways away from the body, making room for yourself, taking up space, and then just releasing. No holding in the belly, no holding in the joints, release in the face and the jaw. Settling in, taking a deep breath in, and exhale, let it go, and prepare to integrate. Bringing small movement to the fingers and toes. Maybe deepening the breath. Beginning to bring your awareness back to the space that you're in. As you're ready, coming on to one side of the body in a fetal position. Feeling yourself supported by the earth. And slowly, slowly taking your time, coming up to a comfortable seat. From here, I invite you to engage in a short pranayama practice, breathing practice. Finding your comfortable seat and bringing the left palm to rest on the left knee. And turning your right palm up towards the sky. And bringing your pointer finger and your middle finger in towards the palm, keeping the pinky and ring finger extended. Can be a little challenging if you've never done this position before, but if they come in a little bit, that's okay. This is a hand mudra, position of the hand, that we'll use for our breathing practice today. So you can keep the eyes closed, you can keep them open, whatever feels comfortable. And tucking the chin to the chest. On an inhale, I'll show you first if you'd like to open your eyes to see. On an inhale, you're going to make a little burrito with your tongue, rolling the tongue together. And on an inhale, lifting the chin and inhaling through the mouth. And then as you exhale, bringing the thumb to close the right nasal passage. So it's actually the valve of the nasal passage, which is a little bit above the nostril. So right above that curve is the valve of your nasal passage, and you're going to close the right one and then exhale, bringing the chin to the chest and exhaling through the left nostril. Inhaling through the tongue and exhaling through the left nostril. Just like that. There's actually a marma point on the nostril of the nose, which is why we don't press and totally close the nose like that. Just go a little bit above and you'll be able to feel that soft spot that you can press to close the nose. So we're going to do a couple rounds of that breathing. Chin to chest, inhaling through the tongue, lifting the chin. Exhale, close the right nostril, chin to chest. Going slow. Let's do one more round. Releasing the mudra. Inhaling through both nostrils. And bringing the palms together at heart center. And I invite you to affirm to yourself, I am whole, complete, and perfect, just as I am. And notice any resistance that comes up to that statement. What is it saying? What is the voice of the resistance? If there's any. This is okay. This is a point of inquiry that we can work with, and just ask yourself, what resistance do I have to receiving from myself or others? And what feels nourishing for me? I thank you for sharing practice with me. I hope you're well. Namaste.